So good afternoon. Welcome to the day 4 session of classes GATE online coaching for theory of computation in computer science and engineering subject. So yesterday we have stopped at pumping lemma, and we have seen pumping lemma and how to prove that the languages are not regular using pumping lemma. Now we proceed with next topic. So on the screen there are two DFAs. This procedure works only for DFAs, not for NFA or NFA epsilon. So we have two DFAs, M1 and M2, accepting the language L1 and L2. Now let us don't bother about what are the languages. Languages are L1 is strings containing AB as substring, and the other one is strings ending with BB. Right? Now I am combining these two FEs and making a new FE. So I have two FEs, M1 and M2. Now what I am doing is, in the combined DFA, we have the states which are or which will represent the pair of states from the two FEs, M1 and M2. So initially I start with the initial state of M1, that is A, and the second state will come from M2, that is P. So I'm starting with a pair AP. I'm not making use of all the pairs. I'm just using only pairs that are reachable from the initial states of either M1 or M2. So if I start from this, so you can see how the transitions are calculated for each pair. For example, you are making the pair P comma Q and you want the transitions on input symbol A for that pair. Then the pair in the transition in the new FA is nothing but the first pair will be from M1, that is delta 1 of P on A, and second pair will be nothing but delta 2. Delta 1 is for M1, delta 2 is for M2, and delta is the transition function for the combined DFA which I am using. Now delta of P comma Q on A is for a pair on A is nothing but taking the state from the M1 and applying delta 1 on the input symbol, and then the second one is same. So if I go for AP, the pair or the state AP on A is nothing but delta 1 of A on A, that is for M1, and delta 2 of P on A. When A is A, that is the input symbol A. Then A on A in M1 will tell you have to go to A. So I will go to A. Then P on A is going to P. So it is AP. Simply I have renamed it with AP. So if you look at this, so AP on A is A. Similarly AP on B. So A on B will go to B and P on B will go to Q. So AP on B is BQ. And BQ on A, so B on A, so B on A is B, and Q on B is R. So I'm getting a pair B R. Q on A. Now Q on A is going to P. So it is B P. So now I'm making another state which represents the pair B P. So this is BP. Now B on B is going to B on B is going to C. Then Q on B is going to R. So it is CR. And similarly, you can calculate for the remaining states. So if I calculate in that manner, I am getting a new. What is the use of making this FA, a combined FA? Let us see. We can get, for example, this is the base for all operations which will apply on the regular languages. So let me see, in this I am illustrating how to get the union, intersection, difference and complement of the given regular language. Now if L1 and L2 are two regular languages which are accepted by two FS, we are given with DFS, not exactly the language. Now I don't know whatever the language. Now don't bother about what is the language. Even if you don't know, we don't mind. So if I want to get the union of these two languages, and let us say I want DFA for the union of these two languages, then what should I do is, first I have to do this. Then if I want union, that means this FA which I have calculated should represent the union of L1 and L2. That is, I want to get L1 union L2. That is L of this. If I call this as MU, then L of MU should be L1 union L2, or in other words, L of M1 union L of M2. If I want this, then what should I do? In this pair, in a pair, all pairs will become final state. Now I am making the final states. All pairs in which one of the pair is final state. See, P belongs to F1 or Q belongs to F2 or both. So this pair contains at least one final state. It can be P, it can be Q, or it can be both. For example, if I look at this, in the FAs, C and R are the final states in the FAs, given original FAs. Then, so wherever I see C or R or C and R, then it is going to be a final state. So what is this? I have this will become a final state, this will become a final state, and this will become a final state. So these three, if you make these three as final states, then this will accept the language which is nothing but the union of L1 and L2. If you want, you can see, suppose there is a string which is accepted by M1, for example BBA. So BBA is accepted in M1, but it is not accepted in M2. You can see BBA, it is ending in P, whereas it is ending in C. Let us see whether it is accepted. It should accept. So let us see BBA. B is going to BQ, then B, and then A. So it is coming to CP. So it is accepting. Similarly, if something is from L2, it will also accept. Right? When it belongs to both, when the string is accepted by both this M1 and M2, then it will end up in both the cases. That is, it will end up in CR, where C is final state and R is final state. For example, you can see 3 B's. What happens? B, B, and B is accepted here, and B, B, B is accepted here. If you look at B, 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 and B, so it will be accepted, right? So this is how we make the union of two languages. Next, intersection. Construction is same. The same DFA I'm taking, which I have constructed for making the combination of two FAs. Now for intersection, what I am doing is I am just changing the set of final states. For intersection, what I am doing is both states, that is in the states of your combined FA, the first one and second one, both the states should be final states. Now look at this. In this, so this cannot be a final state because P is non-final state. C is final state, R is final state. So C is final state in M1 and R is final state in M2. So I make this as final state. So once this is final state, then if your M1 and M2 will accept, they will end up in C and R respectively. And now your new FA will end up in CR. When it ends up in CR, ultimately it meant that, or it means that if you process the same string on M1, it will end in C, and if you process the string on M2, it will end in R. So it is going to accept. Right? Now this is how we will make the intersection of two FAs, so that I get a new FA which will accept. So this is going to be the, I'll call this as intersection. Then set difference. So L1 minus L2, that means a string should belong to L1 but not to L2. X should belong to L1 and X does not belong to L2. That means you have to fix the pair where this is a final state from M1 and this is a non-final state from M2. That is what we have. Then it will, M1 will accept and M2 will reject it, because this string should belong to L1 minus L2. That means string should belong to L1 means it should be accepted by M1. Does not belong to L2 means it should be accepted by M2. So if I look at this diagram, so X should belong to L1, that is C. If you have more than one final state, then you have to take both the states into consideration. Now C is final state and non-final states in L2 are P and Q. So I have to go for CP then CQ. So what I am doing is I have to go for, if it should be L1 minus L2, I have to go for CP. So it should accept in M1. So when it is in C, it will accept. It should be rejected. So CP, then CQ. CQ. Right? So now this will, let us say MD. D stands for difference. So this is the DFA which I have designed from M1 and M2 and will accept the language L1 minus L2. Right? Next. If I want to accept the complement, that is L1 dash, when X belongs to L1, then X here, it should be rejected. If X is accepted here, then X does not belong to L1. Also it should be rejected here, L1 dash. So what should I do? When it is accepted here means it should reach one of the final states. Only one final state is now available. It should be rejected means that final state, which was earlier final state, should be non-final state, so that it will not accept. Right? The DFA is same. I require only one DFA. You need not go for two DFA because I only L1 dash. So what I am doing is I am just making the final states in L1 to be non-final states and non-final states into final state. So your F dash is Q1 minus F1. So if this is the case, then what are the strings accepted? If the string is accepted here, it will reject because it will become non-final state, and if the string is rejected here, it will accept here because it will end in final state. Right? So this is for M dash. L1 dash, that is the L of M1, let me call it as M1C, M1 complement. So is nothing but L1 dash, right? So with this, what we can conclude is the regular languages are closed under union, intersection, complement, difference. For transpose, I'll illustrate later. Then concatenation, you know, by the definition of regular expressions, if R1 and R2 are regular expressions, then R1, R2 is a regular expression which will give you L1, L2. So by the definition itself, they are regular and closed also. You know how to design NFA epsilon for the given concatenation, right? So they are closed under this. What does it mean? The closed means if regular languages are closed under union means if you take any two regular languages, then their union is going to be once again a regular language. And similarly, L1 intersection L2, then L1 dash, L1 minus L2, and L1 L2, and closure operation, that is the iteration operation. Now let us go for transpose. For transpose, what we do is we take the original FE, M1, and so what should we do is it has to come in reverse. For example, X is given here, X is given to this, then the symbols in A1, A2, A3, for example, let us say X contains AK, that is K symbols are there in AK, and X belongs to L. Then now this X written in reverse, that is AK, AK minus 1, then AK minus 2, and A1. So this is the string which you write in reverse, XR or X transpose. Transpose means reverse. Right. So if X is processed in your M, that is the given FA, so what happens is it starts reading your X from A1 and it starts in A, then it after A1 it will go to some state, after A2 it will go to some other state, and when it reaches AK, it will reach one of the final states, C or D. It depends upon the string which you have given, so it ends in C or D. Now what should I do is, in transpose of this language, reverse of X should be accepted. That means you should start from AK. And you have to go backwards, and when you reach A1, this should be accepted. So what should I do? Suppose in my M dash, if I want to come from AK to AK minus 1, in M dash, I want to come from AK to AK minus 1. In your M AK minus 1 to AK, there was a transition. There must be a transition on the input symbol AK or AK minus 1. Some state on AK minus 1 and some state on AK should go to final state. So what should I do? I have to start either here or here, the final states of your M. Then some state on AK is coming to C or D. So that state. So in your M dash, if I start here, I should come to this state. Then only AK will be processed. There will be a transition. So what I am doing is I am just making these things. So that is, it is sufficient for me. Suppose there was a transition on AK in your M, say P to R. Then in your M dash there must be R to P for this AK. So what should I do? Now I have to reverse the transition. So what I am doing now is, now what is your final state? Either you can start in C or you can start in D, because either it may end here or it may end here. So see, C and D are made initial states. Either you start here or you start here. For some strings you have to start here, and for some strings you have to start here. If you start here, it may accept. If it not accepts, you can start it here in D and then you can process, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm just reversing the transitions of the states between the states. Then it is going to get you or give you the reverse. So what should be the final state? It has to reach the initial state of your original FA. So what should be my final state? The initial state of the original DFA. So this is going to be now my final state. So initial states are anything. The final states of one of the final states are all final states of your FA, right? You can start either here or here, but both should be made as initial states. Otherwise, it's going to be wrong, right? Now look at this C to D on 0. There was a transition. So earlier there was a transition from D to C on 0 in your original FA. Now in the M transpose, this is reversed, C to D. When D to C is there, there is C to D on the symbol. Similarly, if you look at B to C on 0, so it will become C to B on 0, and C to B on 1 will become B to C on 1, and similarly C to A on 0, so we have A to C on 0. Now, for example, suppose you process, if you process, you can understand it better. Now let me take a string that is accepted here, say 1 1 0 1 1 0. What happens in it starts in A on 1 goes to B on 1 goes to D, and D on 1, D on 0 goes to C. Now this is accepted. Now what should I do? X power R or X reverse should be accepted here, that is 0 1 1. So where should I start? If you start in D, it may accept, it may not accept. But suppose let me start in T. So D on 0, because uh, D on 0 is going to C. D on 0. C. So I'm ending in C. So I'll start in C. If you start in D, you are not getting the transition. So this is not directed, but I can start in C because C is also initial state. So I start in C. C on 0. C on 0 is going to D. Look at this, D on 0 is coming to C. It is starting from C. So C on 0 should go to D. Then D on 1, your next input symbol in XR is 1. So D on 1 is D or B. If you go to D, you may not get the correct transition. Let me go to B, because this will become no DFA, it will become FA. So either you go to D or you go to B. I'll go to B. If you go to if you go to D, it may not accept it. But I'm going for D to B. At least one path should lead me to final state because it is NFA. So B. You observe, even though this is a DFA, this will become NFA because of more than one transition, right? Now B on 0, B on 0 1, next input symbol is 1. So B on 1 is going to A. If you look exactly, the path in your original FA and the path in your M transpose will be reverse. So A B B C C D B C D B, because we have made the transitions to reverse, right? So this is for L of X power R or L transpose, the reverse of the strings. If a string is available here, the reverse of that string will be available here. Right? This is how you can make the transpose. So I can say now that the regular languages are closed under union, intersection, complement, difference, transpose, concatenation, closure, and they are also closed on homomorphism. You just remember this, on homomorphism, and that homomorphism should be epsilon 3, and they are also closed under substitution. Right? So these are the closure properties of regular language. Then there is a little bit variation of the finite automata. Earlier, if you have seen the FAs, whether they are NFAs or whether they are DFAs or NFA epsilons, they are producing an output of only yes or no. That means, in other words, I say they are accepting or they are rejecting the given input string, right? So if I want some automata to produce an output, then what should I do? I am just making the modifications to the FA so that your FA can, in addition to taking the input, it can also produce some output. So now I am modifying the definition of FA. There are two variations of FA with output. One is Moore emission and one other is Mealy emission. So we will discuss these two machines. A Murray machine. The Murray machine is defined like this. We have Q, Q0, sigma. So Q is set of states. Q0 is your initial state. This is input alphabet. There is no change from FA. And delta is the transition function. Now we want two additional symbols. One is your output will be formed by some alphabet. So I require an output alphabet because output string may be formed from some alphabet. So I require an output alphabet. So in addition to all the 5 that are available in your FA, Q, Q0, sigma, delta. Now there is no final state. Set of final states is not available because whatever the input string it takes, it will produce an output. Right? So there will be no final state that you have to observe. Then your set of output alphabet and the output transition function. Output transition function. I just simply say output function, not transition. Output function. So what is the output that we are going to get? Right. So when you go for Murray machine, the change will lie in delta. Whether it is Murray machine or Mealy machine, you can decide based on your lambda. If the output function maps from Q to O, that is the states to output alphabet, then what happens? You just see. So one state, so it is taking an element of the states and giving you an element of output alphabet. So one state, one output symbol. I'm not getting a string. You have to get only for one state, one output. So what happens now? Look at this. So now I'm giving you a Murray machine, example of a Murray machine. If you look at this, you can see Q0 by 0, Q1 by 0, Q3 by 1, Q4 by 1, and Q2 by 0. That means one state, one output is giving. So what is your output alphabet? 0, 1. Output alphabet, input alphabet can be same or they may be different. There is no condition that both of them have to be same or both of them have to be different. You can have anything, right? It is your choice. Now if you look at this, so in addition to your FA, there are something extra. What is that extra? Every state is giving an output. So your lambda of Q0 is now 0. Lambda of Q1 is now 0. Now lambda of Q2 is now 0. Then lambda of Q4 is 1. Right? So this is your lambda Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. Lambda of Q3 is 1. So this is your output function for this. So if you give an input string, let us say 1, 1 is given to this, then transition function will tell you what to do with the states and input symbol. So Q0, 1, 1. Q0 on 1 goes to Q2. Right? 1 is remaining. So Q2 on 1. Q2 on 1 goes to Q2. Q2 on 1 goes to Q2. Now, whenever your FA or your Murray machine enters into a state, it will give you the output. So, what is happening? We are starting with Q0. So, initially, when you start without any input symbol, taking any input symbol, Q0 will produce an output. What is that output? 0. Because for Q0, output is 0. So, whenever you go to Q0, it will give you 0. Now from Q0 on 1 it is going to Q2. So when it enters into Q2 it will give you the output of Q2. What is the output of Q2? 0. Then Q2 on 1 it is going to Q2. So output of Q2 is 0. So this is your output. So for string for input 1 1 the output is 0 0 0. Right. So if you observe the length of the input string, the length of the input string or the length of the output string. The length of the output string for a Murray machine is greater than input by 1 because the initial state is producing one symbol. After that, you can change the state by taking an input symbol. Right? So for one input symbol, you get one output. For every input symbol, you make the change, maybe the same state, you get one output. and when you begin without taking anything, you get one input symbol. That is why the output is always input length plus one length, right? So this is your Murray machine. Now, one famous example for Murray machine. This is the Murray machine for computing mod 3. Computing mod 3 means at the end of this, what do you get is, if the given input is a binary number, and you make mod 3. Mod 3 means remainder. If the number is divided by 3, whatever be the remainder you get, that should be produced by this Murray machine. So this is based on something called something from number theory. Usually, if there is a binary number, let us say x. If there is a binary number x, then suppose to this number a 0 is added. Suppose you attach one more. For example, if x is 1 0, this is your x. If you add 0 to 1 0, then what becomes 1 0 0. Now what is the value of this? The value of this is 2. The value of this is 4. Now suppose this 1 0 is added with 1, then what happens? The value becomes 4 plus 1 5. Similarly, if there is a binary number x, if you attach 0 to its end, that is at the right end, your number becomes 2x. And if it is attached with 1, that is x0, this is x1. What happens to the value of x? It will become 2x plus 1, because every bit is shifting by 2 position. Every bit is shifting towards left. So when it shifts towards left, its value will be increased by 2. And at the unit place you have 1 means 1 will be added. At the unit place you have 0 means nothing will be added. That is how it has come. Right? Then, if there is a number x whose mod 3 is p, if there is a number x whose mod 3 is p, then 2x mod 3 will be 2p mod 3. How this is designed means, it is number theory, it is out of our scope. So if the number is x and x mod 3 is p, then 2x mod 3 will be 2p mod 3. Similarly, if the number is x mod 3 or x mod 3 is p, then 2x plus 1 mod 3 will be 2p plus 1 mod 3. This is what I have, 2p plus 1 mod 3. If the number is I mod 3 is p, then 2i mod 3 will be 2p mod 3. 2i plus 1 mod 3 will be 2p plus 1 mod 3. So based on this Murray machine is designed. So let me start in Q0. Why I am taking 3 statements? The possibility of reminders is, if the number is divisible by 3, you get remainder 0. If the number is not divisible by 3, you may get a remainder of 1 or you may get a remainder of 2. So my Murray machine will produce an output either 0 or 1 or 2, because that is the only possibility. If you are designing for mod 5, then you require 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But because the mod of remainder of any number divided by 5, you get maybe 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So because this is for 3, I am getting 0, 1, 2. Right? So I require 3 states. One state Q0 with 0 output, another state Q1 with 1 output, another state Q2 with 2 output. These are the 3 possibilities. Initially, when I begin, my number is null, that is 0. The number is null. So I will be in Q0. So this is my starting state, because initially when null or no number is divided, then you get 0 as remainder. Suppose 0 is added by one more 0. That is, earlier the number is 0 or its remainder is 0. Its remainder is 0. And now if the number is added with 0, then what happens to the remainder? 2p mod 3. That is 2 into 0. 0 mod 3 is 0. So remainder is also 0. So on 0, Q0 on 0 is going to Q0, right? On 1, let us see on 1. When the previous you are in Q0 means the remainder is 0. If the number is attached with 1, if you get 1 to the right, then what happens to the number? Number will become 2x plus 1. What happens to the remainder? 0 plus 1. 1 mod 3 is 1. So it should produce an output of 1 because the remainder now becomes 1. So it is going to Q1. So for Q0, for Q1, suppose Q1, that means the remainder is 1. And if the number is attached with 0, what happens to the remainder? So the remainder is 1. Now the next number is attached with 0, number becomes 2x, remainder becomes 2 into 1 mod 3, that is 2 mod 3 is 2. So on 0 it goes to, on 1 it goes back to Q0 because on 1 then 2 into P, 2 1 is 2 plus 1, 3 mod 3 on 1. What is the, what I have used? 2P plus 1 mod 3, where P is this. Right, 2 into 1, 2 plus 1, 3 mod 3 is 0. So it is going to a state which produces output 0. Right, and similarly you can compute for Q2. So this is mod 3 machine. So how it will produce, if you want, you can see. Now look at this. Suppose I give 1 0 0 1. What is the number? This is one minutes place 2 4 8. So this is 8 plus 1 9. What is 9 mod 3? 9 mod 3 is 0. So if you give this number, then your Moore machine should produce an output of 0. Let us see. So Q0 on 0, Q0 on 0 is Q0, then Q0 on 0, sorry, I have to start with 1, right? So Q0 on 1, Q0 on 1, Q1, then Q1 on 0, Q1 on 0, Q2, then Q2 on 0, Q2 on 0, Q1, then Q1 on, next input symbol is Q1 on 1, Q1 on 1 is going to Q0. Now the output of Q0 is 0, output of Q1 is 1, output of Q2 is 2, and output of Q1 is 1, output of Q0 is 0. So the last remainder which I get, so because this is your entire number, last remainder which I get will be the answer. Right? Suppose this is your number, then your remainder will be the last but 1. Okay? So that is how this Moore machine will complete the mod 3. Okay. Now Mealy machine. If you have seen Moore machine, on states it is giving output. In Mealy machine, look at this output. Every other thing is same as Moore machine. Only thing is the transition output function will change. What is the output function? Q cross sigma. That is, it is taking one input state and one input alphabet and going to output alphabet. That means state and input pair. That is QA. State and input pair is giving you output. That is, the transitions will be on state and input pair. The transitions are now producing the output. Earlier states are producing the output. Now look at this. Earlier there were states producing outputs. Now there were transitions that were producing output. So Q0 on 0, the first symbol I am showing is the input. The second symbol I am showing is the output. So in Mealy machine, the convention is that when there are transitions between the states or from same state, in fact you can have loop. So the first symbol, input symbol slash output symbol. So it will be given like this. So Q0 on 0 goes to Q1 producing output 0. Q1 on 0 goes to Q1 produces output 0. Q1 on 1. Q1 on 1 goes to Q2 and produces output 1. Then Q2 on 0 goes to Q1 and produces output 1, and so on. right? You can see that is lambda of, this is what you have to write, lambda of q0 comma 1 is equal to q0 comma 1. q0 comma, what is q0 comma 1? q0 on 1, it is going to q2. What is the output? Output is 0. So lambda of q0 on 1 is 0. If it is delta, to which delta is transition function and lambda is output function, right? So for q0 on 1, whenever your relay machine makes a transition from q0 to q2 on 1, it will give you an output of 0. That is the meaning. Now you can give input and see what is your output. For example, it is giving 1 1. So q0 on 1, first I will see what is the transition. q0 on 1 and 1 goes to q0 and 1 goes to q2. This is delta. And lambda, if I see lambda, q0 on 1 goes to q2, output is 0. So you get 0. Then q2 on 1, q2 on 1 goes to q2, q2 on 1 goes to q2. Then what is the output? q2 on 1, output is 0, 0, right? So for every input transition you make, there is an output symbol. So the length of output in relay machine is same as the length of input, because now the state, not the states, the transitions are producing output, and hence the length of input and length of output will be same. This is relay machine. You can write a transition table for Murray machine. For example, if I want to write the transition table for this Murray machine, let me erase this. Right? Now suppose I want to write the transition table. In addition, for example, let us say I have q0, q1, q2. There are no final states. This is initial state. The input alphabet is 0, 1. Right? So earlier this was your transition table. q0 on 0, q0, q0 on 1, q1. Then q1 on 0, q2. Then q2 on 1 is q1 on 1, q1 on 1 q0, and q2 on 0 q1, and q2 on 1 is q2. Now this is transition table. Now we have output. So here I'll write this is output. Right? The output is now for q0 output is 0, for q1 output is 1, for q2 output is 2. So this is how you can write the transition table for Murray machine. Similarly, you can go for Mealy machine. So for Murray machine I have written. For Mealy machine, if you want to write the transition table, you can write. For example, let me write transition table for this. It's very simple. What I have now is q0, q1, q2. Now I have input symbols. Input symbol 0, input symbol 1. Now for every input symbol, because for every transition, what is your state, next state, and what is the output? Then what is the state and what is the output? So q0 on 0, q1, and output is 0. And q0 on 1, q2, then output is 0. Then q1 on 0 goes to q1, output is 0. q1 on 1 goes to q2, output is 1. Now every transition or every input and input alphabet and state are making a output, right? This is how you can show, you can fill up for q2. This is the Mealy machine. Then this is the Mealy machine, which will check whether the last two symbols, or the last previous symbol matches with the current symbol. When you end your input, then the last two symbols will be same, right? It will give you yes if the last two symbols will match of the input, otherwise it will not give you, right? So what it has to do is it has to remember the last two symbols. It is same as saying 00 or 11, whether the string ends with 00 or 11. You just look at this from Q0 and just writing the FA. This is the FA for strings ending with 00 or 11. Strings DFA. DFA for 00 or this is for 00. And this is for 11. Right? Now look at this. Every time it checks for 00 or 1. Now when you get 0, so initially I'm starting in Q0, only one input symbol I have, so there is no question of matching. So on 0, it goes to P0 and produces no. Right? If it is 1, it produces no and goes to P1. Now this is for if the current symbol matches with the previous 0. That is, the current symbol is 0 and previous is 0. This is for if the current symbol is 1 and previous is 1. Right? So you are in P1. If you get 1, I am giving you Y, because previous symbol is 1, the current symbol is 1. So I am getting Y. Suppose you are here and you get 0. Then current symbol is 1. If you get one more symbol 0, then previous symbol will be 1, current symbol is 0. So it will not match. So I have to give you N. Similarly, for this, you are in P0 means the last symbol is 0 and also 0. Now you get one more 0, then the last symbol, current symbol will match with the last symbol 0. Similarly, if you get 1, it will not match because you will be in this state as long as you have the last two symbols are 0, 0. You get 1, current symbol will not match with the previous symbol. So you get, so I have to output N and then I have to go to P. Right? This is Mealy emission for checking whether the last input symbol matches with the current input symbol or not. Now construction, this snapshot is taken from the link. Construction of a Moore machine that prints A whenever the sequence 01 is encountered. That means this is for when 01 is encountered, it will give you output of A. Otherwise, it will give you an output of B. In other words, A is yes and B is no. Then this is the Moore machine for checking whether the 01 is encountered. Whenever 01 is encountered, you get A. If it is not, then you get B. Right? Number of 01s will depend upon the string. Any number of 01s you get, that many number of Yes will be there. Now look at this, how it has been written. So whenever there is a 01, we are getting A. If there is no 01, then you get B. Right? 01, then 01, and so on. Right? So when you get the sequence, 1 0, you are here 01, you get 0, then what you get, it will be 1 0 and then 1. Right? Similarly, 01, you get 1, then you have now 1 1. So once again you have to check for 0 1. Right? This is how it is calculated. It is same as ending with 0 1. Right? Now look at this. I am constructing a Moore machine to Mealy machine. So this is the Moore machine. Now how can you compare Moore machine and Mealy machine? When do we say they are equal? When they produce the same output. But if you look at the Moore machine, the length of the output is 1 extra than the input. But Mealy machine will give you the same length. So when we are comparing Moore machine and Mealy machine, I have to neglect the initial output symbol from the Moore machine. Then I will compare. So the first output symbol is neglected and take the remaining output from the Moore machine and Mealy machine. Then only you can compare. Otherwise, you cannot compare. There is no way that these two things will become equal. So we can eliminate this. Now, how do we get? So what we do is, for example, you look at this in Moore machine. Suppose A on 1 is going to A. and this state is producing B. So in Mealy machine, what I have to do is this state. So this transition. So whenever you make this transition, you are coming to A and producing the output. So this transition should give you B. Similarly, you look at this, A on 0 is going to B. So this is giving you B output. So this transition A on 0 to B should give you B. So whenever you go to B, the transition that is going to B should produce the output that has been produced by B, right? So similarly, whenever you go to C, because the output in Moore machine will be A, any transition which will make you to come to C or to transfer to C your current state, it should produce A. So it might be obvious for you. Whenever you come into some state, the state's output should be produced by that particular transition. So you move to some state, then it should be produced. Now look at this. This transition is coming into C. So this transition is coming into C. So I'm going for A. This transition is coming into B. So I'm going for B. This is coming into B. So I'm going for this. Should produce B. Similarly, it is coming into A and A is producing B, so it should be B. And similarly for this should be B. And for this, because you are coming into B and B produces B, your Mealy machine should produce B. This is very simple. That is what I have done. I have just moved the outputs of these states to the transitions which are making the machine to come into A or to transfer your current state to change current state to that state, right? This is the Mealy machine corresponding to the, now you can see the transition table. Simply whatever available here is transferred to this, right? This B is transferred to this, wherever B you have, whenever you enter into B, you get B. Output for B is B. So we come to B, B, then B. Now C, for example, C is producing an output of A. In the table, wherever you see C, there you can write A. Because I am coming into C, so here I am only one. So for example, I take A. A's output is B. So whenever I make a transition into A, I have to get an output of B. So this one. And for B, output is B. So in the transition table, whenever you enter into B, we will make it. It's very simple. Conversion of Mealy machine to Moore machine. Is a little bit same, but a small change. Small change here is, earlier Moore machine will give you states. States will give you output. Now transition should give you now Mealy machine is giving you transition. So sometimes if there are more than two transitions into a state from different states. For example, look at this. A on 0 is going to B, A on 0 is going to B, A on 0 is going to B, output is A. Now there is another transition from C on 0, output is A, then okay, fine. Now there is one more transition on 0, B on 0 is B, but producing output B. That means even though you are entering into B, when you are making a transition from some state to B, where it can be the same state, some state into B, in two places you are getting output A and one of them is giving output B. That means entering into B is giving you two different types of outputs. But Moore machine can give you only one output for one state. Then what should I do? I am simply replicating this state into two, where one state will give you A, another state will give you B. So how can I do that? Suppose this gives you 3, then you can triplicate this state, right? So here what I am saying is B is now able to produce, the state B is now, whenever you are entering into B, in some points you are getting A, in some points you are getting B. So I require 2 copies. Suppose transitions will produce different outputs. If there are k different outputs, you require k copies, right? So now B is replicated. See, B is replicated. One is giving A, another is giving output B. Now I am making such that the state B will give you two outputs. One is A, another is B. One copy is A, another copy is B. Right? Similarly, C. So if you look at C, there are 3 transitions that are coming into the state C. So 2 of them are giving you A, one of them is giving B. It can be anything, right? So I'm making 2 copies of C. Similarly, for A, so there is nothing coming into A, so I need not require anything. But because you have to give some output, you can give just null or something, whatever it is. But we don't bother, right? Now, how to make the transitions? For example, look at this. A on 0 is going to B, but output is A. So you should go to B has 2 copies. So which copy you have to go means you have to go. This transition is going to B, right? So you should go to B, but output should be A. That means I should go to a copy of B whose output is A. So I'm going to A on 0 is going to B, a copy of B which is producing output A. You should not go to this. If you go to this, you don't get the correct result because the output will be B, but the output here will be A. So I'm going to that. Similarly, A on 1 is going to C, output is A. So I should go to the copy of C, which will give you an output of A. So I'm going to this. And now B transitions. There are 2 copies for B, so for both copies, you have to make the transitions. So B on 0 is going to B and output is B. So B on 0 is going to B, output is B. Now B on 0 is going to B, output should be B. So this copy should go to the copy of B which will produce output B. So this is your 0 transitions, and 1 transitions. B on 1 is going to C, output is A. So this B and this B on 1 are going to C. Similarly, you can go for C transitions. So C on 1 is going to C, output is B. So C on 1 is going to C, output is B. C on 1 is going to C, output is B. Right? So this is your Moore machine. So that is the end of your finite automata and regular languages, regular expressions, and all the things. Now these are the most of the things I have covered. Most of the things, any question you get in these things, you can answer. But because this is a competitive exam, time is very important. So what I am doing now is I have collected not from the internet. I have collected this material is all from the internet, and from the internet I have collected all the previous gate questions and sample gate questions. So we will now take a look at those and we'll see how to solve them. Most of the answers you get will be on observation, and amount of practice you put, then you will get your answer in that much amount of short time. right? You get answer earlier. So practice is most important, and understanding of the concepts is also important. Now let us start our journey with previous grade questions. Now look at this. The machine M is available, and the language recognized by M is what? So most of the things, if you look at this diagram, this is your final state, right? So if you reach final state, you will accept the string, right? So what are the strings that will be accepted? Now look at this. From these states, from these two states, if you enter into this, you will never come back. You will never come back. This is an indefinite state, right? So only thing that is making me to reach is here to here. And when you start here, any number of b's can be repeated, right? So b star, this is b star, then a, then b, then b, right? B star, a, b, b. This can be present, need not be present. If at all it is present, you can have any number of b's, but any number of b's. You get a, then it should be followed by b, followed by b, then only you will reach the final state. So a, b, b must be there. After b is there, you can have b star. This is optional. B star can be there or it need not be there. You can stop here, right? B star can be there, or after these two b's, you can have any number of b's. Or see, once again it is coming back to on a. Suppose you get a, you are coming back to a, right? And then b, b followed by any number of b's. That means what you can observe here is this is a string in which a is followed by any number of more than 2 b's. Look at this. Every w followed by exactly 2 b's. So this is wrong because more 2 b's can be there, right? Every a in w is followed by at least 2 b's. At least 2 b's. Once you get a, there must be 2 b's. After a is not allowed, right? And after this also a, b. If you get 1b and you get a, it is also not allowed. That means once you get a, these 2 b's are compulsory. Occurrence of these 2 b's is compulsory, and you can have any other. So minimum 2 b's are required. So what do? This option is going to be correct for me because every a in w is followed by at least 2 b's. After that, once 2 b's are there, you accept. You get one more a, once again I have to check for 2 b's. And this is how you have to do. Otherwise, you can simplify the regular expression and then you get, but that is going to be cumbersome. You have to give your answer by, most of the things will be, you can give by observation. See, w contains the substring a, maybe. This is not correct because once it is substring, either a or b can be here, right? It should, now it is not here. Once you get one more a, it is coming to this point and checking whether it ends, right? So this is correct. Right? Now you can see that is the explanation. Now look at this language. Consider the regular language L equal to 111 or 6 ones whole star repeated any number of times. What is the minimum number of states in any DFA accepting this language? So to give you the minimum number of DS, the roundabout method is you have to go for NFA epsilon, then you have to convert it into DFA, and then you have to minimize it. But for doing this, it is given only for 1 mark, so you cannot go for this. So you need to observe what is this language, what are the strings in this language. Strings in this language are, see, 0 or more number of times. 0 times I get null string. 1 time it can be this or it can be this. You can take this 1 time or this 1 time. So what is happening now? Look at this, 3 or 6 bits. Suppose 2 times. You can repeat this 2 times. If I repeat 2 times, suppose I repeat this 1 1 1 and this once again 1 1. You get 6 ones. Suppose I repeat this one and this 2 3 1 2 3. So 9 ones. Suppose I repeat this 2 times 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and this one time, then you get 9 ones. Then if this is repeated, then you get 12, and so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Right? 12 6 9 12 are 9 ones, 9 ones 6 ones 12 ones, 3 ones 6 ones. So you repeat one more time, then what happens? 6 will become 9 or 12 to this 9 12 or 15 or 18 and so on. What do you observe here? The number of ones in this language are divisible by 3. You can observe that, right? So you get 0 ones or 3 ones or 6 ones or 9 ones. If you combine these two, if you combine this, you get 6 plus 6 12 or 18 or 21. Suppose you combine this and this, then you get 9 or 12. It is incrementing by 3 by 3 by 3. That means the number of ones in this language, strings in this language will contain strings. Ones where the number of ones is divisible by 3. That means when it is divisible by 3, when an FA has to recognize such strings, it has to remember what are the possibilities when it is not divisible. When it is divisible, I will be here 0. When it is not divisible, you may get for all numbers remainder is 1 is this and remainder is 2. After 2, if you get one more, you come here, right? The 1 1 1, 0 ones you are here, then 3 ones 1 2 3, you want 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 9 12, right? Any numbers all ones whose total number is divisible by 3 is this. Less than this is not possible because you have to always count whether the total number of ones is divisible by 3 or not. So if you want to count, it should be the case. So this is your answer. Less than this is not possible. Right? Next. The language accepted by this automation is, if you want to do, actually you have to go for Arden's theorem and you have to make the substitutions and so on. If you don't get it by observation, you can do that thing. For example, for Q0, if you want to make the equation Q0, you get B star. Q0 is equal to B star, right? So for Q0, if you make the equation, what do you get? Q0B, Arden's theorem, Q0B plus epsilon. So you get Q0 equal to B star. But by observing, you can say B star. If you want to go to Q1, B star followed by A, or B star followed by A, then B star. If you want to come to Q2, then B star, A, B star, A, then B star, or A. You see, if you observe Q1 and Q2, any number of B's or A's, any number of B's or A's are accepted. Look at this part. Here there is another state, but we are never reaching or we are never going to that state from Q0. Look at this. So this is not important for me, not required for me. You can eliminate that state also, doesn't matter. But once you enter into Q1, look at this. You enter into Q1, you are always making the transitions in between Q1 and Q2. Both are final states. Q1 and Q2 are final states. Once you reach Q1, any number of B's or A's, B's in any sequence are accepted. That means combinedly for Q1 and Q2, this is your regular expression, A plus B whole star. Because you get 1A, you are here. You get 2A's, you are here. You get 1A, 1B, 1A, 3B's, 3B's, 1A, anything. So this is for both Q1 and Q2. So this is always accepting. But to enter into this, first you have to come to Q1, Q0 to Q1. So what will make you to come to Q0 to Q1? It is B star A. Then after that, anything, right? So the regular expression is B star A plus B whole star. You need to recognize, right? This is here. B star A, see, B star A, then A plus B whole star. But you have to be very careful. See, B star, this is also B star A. If you don't recognize this, then one A compulsory. This is wrong. Because you get at least two A's. Look at this, one A and one A. But here only one A. Minimum length string here is two A's. But here it is only one A. So if you put this, it is wrong. Right? So this is your right choice. That is your right choice. Next. The minimum state automation equivalent to the above FSA has the following number of states. How many number of states? We know the regular expression B star. You can combine these two. And this is not required for me. I can eliminate this. Right? There is no need for this for me because I'm just always making the things between transitions between Q0, Q1, Q2. Everything is in this. You will never enter Q3. If you start here, you will never enter. So this is not required for me, right? So you can combine these two, right? So this is sufficient for me. Q0, A, then A comma B, right? This will also accept the same thing. B star A plus B whole star, right? Or even if you want, you can go for this. B star A plus B whole star. So at least one A is there. So at least one A. Right? So what you require this is B star. So I require only two states. If you apply the minimization, you will get it, right? Two states. Next. So this is how you can get. Next. A minimum state deterministic finite automata accepting the language, the number of zeros and ones. The language is this. What is the language? Your strings are formed by 0 and 1, and the number of zeros and the number of ones in W are divisible by 3 and 5 respectively. That means you take the string W in this language, any string, say x1, x2 or xyz, whatever it is. If you count the total number of zeros, I will call this as NA of x when x belongs to L. NA of x. NA stands for number of A's. Now here it is 0. So N0 of x mod 3 should be 0. Then N1 of x mod 3. N1 is number of ones in the string from the language L. Should be divisible by 5. If you look at this, a string number of zeros in x will be divisible by 3. If it is not divisible by 3, you may have total number of zeros as maybe 1 or maybe 4 or maybe total number of zeros 5 or maybe 7 and so on. Remainder is 1. If the remainder is 2, then you get the total number of zeros. N0 could be, if it is 3, if it is 0, if it is 3, if it is 6, if it is 9, it is divisible by 3. It is not divisible by 3 when you have 1, 4, 5, 8 and so on, or 2, then 5, 2, then 5, then 1, 4, this is 7, 1, 4, 7, remainder is 1, 7, then this is 10, then 2, 5, then 7 and so on, right? 2 plus 3, 5, 5 more 3 is 2, then 2, 5, then 8, then you will have 11 and so on, right? For all this you will have a remainder of 1, for all this you will have a remainder of 2. That means the possibilities are the number of zeros when divisible by 3 you may get 0 or you may get 1 or you may get 2. That means for this there are 3 possibilities and for this there are 4 possibilities: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 possibilities, 5 possibilities. The number of zeros in a string x can be with a remainder of 0 and number of ones can be 0. That means, let me put it very clearly. If you take a string x, the number of zeros would be, when divisible by 3, you may get the number of zeros could be, let me say, I'll take the smallest possible value. So if it is divisible by 3, you get a remainder of 0. This is one possibility. Now, suppose you take number of ones, it could be 0 or 1 or number of ones 2 or 3 or 4. Right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of zeros is divisible by 3 and number of ones, this is number of ones, divisible by 5 means this, or it is not divisible, you may get this or this or this or this is the possibility. When number of zeros, when you divide by 3, m0 by 3, mod 3 or by 3, then I may get 1. And once again 0, when number of ones divisible by 5, you may get remainder 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. That means for each possibility you are getting 5 number of ones possibilities. That means you get 3 into 5. Okay? 15 states are required minimum. If you look at the DFA, you can see it, right? So this is for divisible by number of ones and number of zeros divisible by 3 and 5. This will represent number of zeros divisible by 3 and number of ones divisible by 5. Look at this. I have only ones. 1, 1, 2 ones, 3 ones, 4 ones, 5 ones. When I have 1, 1, I may get 1, 0. Here, when you are here, number of zeros is 0. If I get 1 and 1, 0, then number of zeros divisible by divided by 3, you may get 1. Suppose one more is added, you get to 2. And one more 0 is added, then what happens? You will go to here, right? Divisible by 3 and so on, right? So it is always in between, right? So it will reach here only when the number of ones are this and number of zeros are like this, right? That is how it is going to. Number of zeros are divisible, number of ones are divisible. When there are 5 ones, you will be here. When there are 2 ones, 1, 2, 1, 0, then before 2 zeros you can get any number of zeros, either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, right? So this is the minimum state DFA for the given language. So the rule is you can have n into k rule. Next, which of the following are regular sets? So this will you need to apply pumping lemma and you have to get, but because I said FA has no memory, if you need to remember infinite amount of patterns for recognizing a language, then it is not going to be regular, right? Patterns, not the strings, right? So I'll apply that. You see, if you look at this, the strings in this language are some number of A's followed by even number of B's. Any number of A's, I'll write like this, A star, right? A star, the regular expression. Then B power 2m, m value is 0, m value is 2 power 0 means no B's will be there. If m equal to 1, you will have B square, that is 2 B's. If m is 2, you will have 4 B's. That means the number of B's is even. If I write like this, see, some A's followed by even number of B's is this language. So this is regular because I am able to write a regular expression. Now for this, A power n, B power m. Now you cannot write A star, B star, or A star like this because the number of m's will depend upon the number of a's, and the number of a's does not depend anything, it can be any number. So first you need to remember the number of a's, whether it is 10 or 100 or 500 or 1000, and there is no limit for this, and hence you cannot write a regular expression for this, no regular expression. And for this, still you need to remember what is the value of n, and you have to check whether it is equal to m or not. So this is also you cannot write, because you need to remember how many number of a's are there, and then you have to compare it with the number of this. So you cannot remember. Now if you look at this, x is a string of a's and this, y is a string of a's and this. So what do you get? A plus b whole star, then c a plus b whole star, right? C is some alphabet, a single alphabet, right? So these two are having regular expressions. For these two you cannot write, and hence 1 and 4 are regular sets. Look at this. So this option is correct for me. 1 and 4. 1 and 4 are regular sets for me. So that is the answer. Based on regular expressions you can write, or you can simply observe and say, because I am explaining and describing, it will be lengthy, but you can get it directly. Next, the above DFA accepts the set of all strings over 0, 1 that. So description of the language. Now look at this. To reach the final state, I require 2 zeros. Because this is DFA, something is missing here, it should be 1. Because on 0 you have a transition, so on 1 there is a transition, right? So on 1 is missing, so I am writing. Now look at this. You require 2 zeros, at least 2 zeros. After that you can have any number of zeros. But if at all there is a 1, I am coming back to here, that means you look at this, begin either with 0 or 1, this is wrong. End with 0, no, ending with 0 it is not accepting, single 0. End with 0 0 may be true, and contain the substring 0 0, not true, this is not true. So end with 0 0, so after 0 0 0 you get one more 0, it will also end with 0 0, and you get 1, you are coming here, right? So when you get one more 1 here, you are coming here and then checking back for 0 0. So this option is right. End with 0 may be true, but there are some strings which will end with 0 but not accepting. For example, if I want to see 1 0 1 0, I am here, not accepted. So this what we have is end with 0 0. This is not wrong. It will also accept this type of strings, but it will never accept some other strings. For example, 0 0 1 is not accepted. Still it contains 0 0, right? So this is right. The answer is C. And what we have is L equal to 0 or 1 whole square, that is strings of zeros and ones, and W has even number of ones. Which one of the regular expressions below represents L? It says we have even number of ones. Now look at this. We have even number of ones here. 2 ones repeated any number of times. 2 ones repeated any number of times. And 2 ones repeated any number of times. Here also you get 2 ones repeated any number of times. Now the problem is, suppose you select this, your string will always end with 1. If you want, you can see 1 1. After 1 there is no 0, right? So even though this contains even number of ones, you don't get something like this 1 1 0. Right? You cannot produce 1 1 0 here. So this option is wrong for me. If I go for this 1 1 0, I will get it, right? it starts with 0, it could start with 0, right? 0, or it could start with 1 1 and 4 ones. Okay, you get it. So this is right, and this is also right. You may get this also, right? And it can start with 0 and it can end with 0, and in between you can have any number of zeros. So 0 0 0, you can have anything, right? So this is the most appropriate thing. And if you take this, minimum is you get 2 ones, right? Minimum is 2 ones, but minimum is not required for me. So C is going to be done. C is also correct. You can see C will also give you even number of ones, no problem. D and C. C will A will also generate even number of things, no problem. You can have it. Right? Both will give you any strings. Next, which one of the following languages over the alphabet 0 comma 1 is described by the regular expression? If you look at the regular expression, so what is the language? See, any string of zeros and ones, 1 0, then any string of zeros and ones, another 0, and any string of zeros and ones. There is no limitation and there is no restriction on these three, but the restriction is on this 0 and this 0. That means you can have anything with 1 0, then in between anything with another 0, and with anything. That means there are at least 2 zeros. Then you can put anything in between them, or at the beginning or at the end. So what do you get? This is the set of all strings containing at least 2 zeros. Set of all strings containing substring 0 0, no, even though you get it. At most 2 zeros, no, you can have more than 2 zeros. The set of all strings contain at least 2 zeros, right? And the set of all strings that begin and end with either 0 or 1. So this is not correct. Right. So answer is at least 2 zeros will be there. Next. Now we are given with the regular expression, and the accepting languages are this. The common feature in the accepting languages can be seen that they consist of at least 2 zeros. This is the answer. That is the answer for this. Okay, no problem. The next question. A deterministic finite automata DFA-D with alphabet, so alphabet is A comma B and is given below. So this is given for us. Now, which one of the following finite state machines is a valid minimal DFA? So a DFA is given and we want a minimal DFA. What is the minimal DFA? Now look at this diagram. And you can, most of the time you can observe and you get. Now, if I look at S and T, look at S and T, P on A is coming to S and S on AB is same. And Q on A, P on A, Q on A, P on A, Q on A, both of them are coming to S and T. Now S and T on A is going to same, on B is going to same, and both are final states. Both are final states, and both of them A on B, yes, A on B, S on A, yes, S on B, yes. Then A on T on A, T, T on B, T. Both are final states. So what can I do is on A. Now on A, instead of coming to T, if I come to S, there is no change, right? And from P on A, instead of coming to S, if I go to T, no change. Everything is going to be same. That means I can combine S and T. S and T can be combined. Now P and Q. P on B going to Q, Q on B is going to R, both are different. So this you cannot minimize, right? You will never come back. Once you enter into R, you will never come back, right? So P on Q and Q on B going to R. So this is your minimum state DFA. What is the minimum state? Next. Definition of a language L with alphabet A is given as A power nk, and n is a positive integer constant. That means a language L is given like this, A power nk, such that n is greater than some value. N can be 2, n can be 5, k. So A power nk, n, if n is 2 you get some language, if n is 3 you get some language. A power 2k for k greater than or equal to 0, maybe 1, because it is a positive integer 1, right? Then A power 3k, A power 4k or nk, right? Then what is the minimum number of states needed in the DFA to recognize? When n is 2, you will have A power 2, A power 4, A power 6 and so on. That is, if you have 3, you will have A power 3, A power 6, A power 9 and so on. When it is n, you will have A power n, A power 2n, A power 3n and so on. So you should recognize at least n A's followed by 2 n A's, 3 n A's and so on. Or your number of A's is divisible by n. But minimum is A power n. So epsilon is not allowed because n is a positive integer constant. So what I get is A, let me say this is state 1, then 1A, 2A's, if it is 2, it is, then 3A's, 4A's, 5A's, 6A's and so on. When n is 2, when n is 3, 1A, 2A, 3A's, sorry, hello, one thing, I'll erase this. So when n equal to 3, when n equal to 3, let me change, when equal to 3, A, so 1A, 2A's, 3A's, right? 3A's. It can be 6A's also. So if you get one more A, 4A's, 5A's, 6A's. It can be 9A's and so on. If it is 5, you will get something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5A's, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. If it is n, in general it is a number n, then you will require n plus 1 states. It is 3, 3 plus 1, 4. If it is n, n plus 1. Right? N is a constant, you require at least n plus 1 states. Less than this is not possible. Now consider the language L1 equal to 5 and L2 equal to A. Which one of the following represents L1, L2 star union L1 star? So first let me see what is L1, L2 star. L1, L2 star. Union means plus. So what is L1? L1 is 5. 5 concatenated with anything is 5. Then L1 star. L1 is A. So L1 star is A star. So what I get is 5 union A star. So what do you get? Result is A star. Result is A star. So your answer is C. This is wrong. Union L1 star. What is L1 star? L1 star is A star. 5 union A star. 5 union A star is A star. So answer is wrong. You have to check for A star. So answer is C, not here. Then which one of the following is true? The language is regular. Now look at the CA power n, D power n is not regular. We have used, you can use pumping lemma because number of E's and number of V's should be same. That means you need to remember A, number of A's followed by same number of B's. You need to remember how many A's are there and then you have to compare it with the number of B's. So this is not possible with FA. So this is not regular. And language A power n says that n is prime is all not regular. So this is false because we have proved. And the prime number there is no pattern. So we have to remember infinite number of years. So this is not possible. W says that W has 3k plus 1 base. That is when the number of bees in your string divided by 3, then mod is 1 or the remainder is 1. 3k plus 1, okay, equal to n. So this is regular. You will have either 1 b or 4 b's or 7 b's in your string. All such strings will be in this language. This is regular. And this is not regular because you have to remember this W followed by comparison of that W with this, and there is no restriction on this W. So you need to remember infinite number of A's and B's or infinite number of zeros and ones, and hence this is not regular. So what is regular? This is true. This is regular. All the remaining things are not regular and hence they are false. Answer is C. You can see the DFA. Even without DFA you can say. Okay. Now consider the finite automata in the following figure. Which is the set of reachable states for the input string 0011? You need to work out. Start in Q0. This is an NFA. Suppose I start in Q0 and I give input 1. I have to work for 0011. So Q0 on 0. Q0 on 0 is Q0. Okay. Then Q0 on 0 is once again Q0. Now Q0 on 1. Q0 on 1, it can go to Q0 or it can go to Q1. So now you will get Q0 comma Q1. Right? Q0 and Q1. Now Q0 and Q1, your next input symbol is 1. So you can be in Q0 or you can be in Q1. What is Q0 on 1? Q0 on 1 is Q0 or Q1. So you get Q0 or Q1 if you are in Q1. Suppose you are in Q1 and you are getting 1. You are in Q1, you are getting 1. Then you are going to Q2. So this is where you will end up. Q0, Q1, Q2. Right? So Q0, Q1, Q2. The answer is E. Answer is E. You can work out. Okay. Now, L1 is a language from the alphabet 0, 1 and W has at least as many occurrences of 110s as 011s. So, let L2 equal to W has at least as many occurrences of 000s as the 111 Which one of the following is true? L1 is regular but not L2. If you look at the languages L1 and L2, to check a string whether it belongs to L1 or not, you need to count. Because at least as many occurrences of 110s as 0. So you need to count 011s and the occurrence of 110 should be greater than this many number of occurrences. So you need to remember how many 011s are there. But there is no restriction. And similarly in L2 also the same thing. So you cannot check whether the string belongs to L1 or L2 using any of the FE, whether NFA, DFA or NFA epsilon, or even you cannot write the regular expression, and hence L1 and L2 are not regular. So both L1 and L2 are not regular. So neither L1 nor L2 are regular. So your answer is D. So your answer is D. Next, the length of the shortest string not in the language. This there is no shortcut method. You need to see that length of the following language is, what we can have is some number of years followed by some number of years. It can be 0 also, right? And then VA. So BA, BA, BA. So B followed by at least one A, right? So you cannot get BBA. So you don't get BBA. You can get AB. So string of length epsilon is possible, and you can get A, or you can get B, and you can get any A's and any B's. But I think you can only A's followed by only B's. Maybe you may not get B, 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 A, A, B, A, B, A. Maybe you don't get BAB, right? You won't get BAB, right? So because B then followed by A, so you don't get BAB. The minimum length is 3. So you may get 3 B's, but you won't get BAB. Then B followed by A followed by B, you won't get it, right? So minimum length is 3, right? So the answer is 3. So BAB is not possible. Strings of length 2, all strings of length 2 are possible. You can get AA, or you can get AB, you can get BB, BA, whatever. But BAB is not possible. AAB is possible, but BAB is not possible. Only by observation. Which of the regular expressions given below represent the following DFA? So look at the DFA. What we have is 1. To reach the final state, I require 1. So I require at least 1. And before that, you can have 0, any number of zeros. And 1 followed by any number of ones, 1 star. Or if at all you get 0, you are coming back, and then can be repeated 0 and 0 star 1, right? Then 0. When you get 0, you are coming back and once again checking for this, right? So what do you get if you look at this? 0 star 1 is possible. So 0 star 1 is possible. 0 star 1. Then 1 or 0 star 1. Then 1 can be repeated any number of times, or 0 star 1. 0, you see 0, 1, or 0 star 1. 0 star 1 whole star. You can repeat this once again, right? So this is 0 star 1 is compulsory. 0 star 1 is compulsory. 1 is correct. Now what about 2? 0 star 1 star. So 0 star 1 star, then 1. You can have 1, or 1 star 0 star 1, but this will give you only once and give you nice. 0 or 1 whole star 1. 0 or 1 whole star 1. Single 1, you can have any number of ones, and you get 0, 1. So this is also 0. So 1 and 3 are right. So 1 and 3 will give you the same thing, right? So you can check. This is okay, and when this simplified, you get this 0 or 1 whole star 1, because when 1 is there, I am going to this, right? They are just ending with 1. When it is not ending with 1, I am coming back. When it is ending with 1. So this is 0 or 1 whole star. Right. Next, we have two DFAs, M and N. the number of states in a minimal DFA that accept the languages L of M intersection L of N. Look at this. This is strings ending with A. This is for strings ending with A, and this is, look at this, when it is B you are accepting, when it is A you are not accepting. So this is strings ending with A. So intersection is here strings will end with B, here the strings will end with A. So their intersection is 5. Their intersection is 5. Right? So your answer is 5. You can just make it as 5. Or you can make the intersection what I have given construction and then you can go for it. So we'll stop at this point and we'll continue tomorrow.